How many journals did you complete or at least start in 2024? I have no idea how many I worked in, but today we're going to look at some of them and I'm going to talk about that process, my journey, where I'm at with some of my journals, and just share with you how this process has equipped me for a better 2025. Hi, my name is Brittany, and today I'm going to follow up on several of the journaling processes that I began at the start of 2024. I have some notes off to the side. Please get comfortable, grab a snack, a drink. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm going to be quite chatty in it, and I'll probably be referencing some of these journals because some of the things that I want to share and some of the things that I've discovered about myself are in these journals. So let's get started. The first one I want to talk about is this Hinoki Into the Forest set by Notebook Therapy. I do have a little insert that I will put into this video towards the end, probably to show you all the books that I made in about an 11-month period. And those are ones that you're going to be able to see in the future on this channel because now I have to fill them. The fun part, right guys? Now this journal is going to get revamped into something new, but inside I do have some ideas of previous notes that I had written down. You can see here kind of what I was doing with my YouTube planning, just like putting photos of my thumbnails on the days that they got pushed out and released. But I do have some ideas in here. Be referencing that throughout the video. And then some of the things too that I'm going to be going in and discussing with you are not finished, and therefore they're going to be continuing into 2025. They're things that I might have started in the past month or two, but I really think that they're working and they're benefiting me, like have clarity and good mindset moving forward about like where I'm going with my projects. So I'm definitely going to keep them, but some of them are ones that are finished, like there's nothing left to do. There's like every single page is completely full, and other ones are not finished. They're ones that I stopped and I don't think I'm going to continue with them. So this is the first part of that notebook though that we were just going through, where I was planning out my YouTube channel. So this is the one that I'm going to be referencing. I do have my schedule. I went over this with you guys at the beginning of 2024, and I will link in the description box to this video my quarterly reviews in case you want to go back and kind of see like where I started and like how I grew and why I shifted from one journal to another. But this was the schedule I kind of presented to you guys. Then I also have goals for my channel. So when I began my YouTube channel, I had zero experience with video. None. Like I never took video in my private life. That wasn't something that my family did. My husband and I, we don't record, we don't FaceTime, none of that stuff. So I had a lot to learn and there's still so much more I need to learn with it. So I'm going to continue channel goals for myself in 2025. This is how I used to do it. So when I first started, I just took a dot grid notebook, which is a traveler's insert here. And I just, hand wrote little boxes and the title of my videos. I did the thumbnail for the video, and then I left space so that if I achieved any of those channel goals, or if I came across like a roadblock or something that was especially challenging, I would make note of it here, so that I would have that as reference to, look back at. So that was great. That was a really good experience. And then what do we have next? Let's do the brain dump. So the brain dump, I talked about removing this from my bullet journal because I thought that it would be so much nicer to have one location for all of my ideas and mind mapping. Because originally I thought it would be too difficult to flip back through my past bullet journals to try to find an idea. I've since found a better way to do this with commonplace journaling, and while I'm still kind of like exploring that and figuring out what that all is, I do think that it's gonna serve me better than having a TN insert for my brain dump. So that's probably not going to continue. And then we have excuse me, my ATC book. And this is for artist trading cards. Now, some of them are a little bit larger than 2.5 by 3.5, so I do have to cut some of them down, but not many. A lot of them just slide right in, which is perfect. And then these are my most recent ones from a local swap. I have learned about a couple of different groups on different social media platforms that participate in artist trading card swaps, so I have been busy doing those. I'm hoping that I can finish this out for 2024, and then I do believe that I'm going to get another one and continue that into 2025 because I love making those on the channel with you guys. Alright, the next one I'm not going to actually open, but this is the Travelers Company Travelers Notebook, and it is what I was using for trips to put like my receipts, urban sketching, things like that in. I didn't get to do that much in it for 2024, so that is going to be continuing. We do have some stuff planned for 2025 vacations, so I'm looking forward to using that. Okay, and then this is the junk journal TN that I decorated the bag with you on my YouTube channel. So if you didn't see me do this, I will link that video in the description box. But this is where I'm doing all my junk journaling, and I am behind in this one, but this is something I definitely want to continue moving forward just because I love keeping little packaging items, receipts, movie subs, anything like that. I think that it is brilliant, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that journal going forward. All right, so did we mark any off the list? Let's see here. We did this one. Dream Journal and Angel Numbers, that one I burned, so I will link that video of the journal burn in the description box. I talked about the brain dump, I talked about the junk journal, and the travel journal. So the geocache, let's go to that because it is also in a traveler notebook. This is one that I made with you guys on the channel, and this series is one that I am going to continue. Where I have been with it, because I didn't finish it yet, I really wanted to get this done for you guys by the end of 2024. However, when I went to some of the locations that I needed to sketch for this series, there were construction at one of them. There were young children at another one. There was a race at one of the events, a running race. There was some type of a water line repair going on where I couldn't even get to the site because the parking was messed up. There were trees being removed from another one. And then after that, it's 5 locations that I couldn't get to. I decided we're just going to pause this and maybe rethink how we're going to film this. Like maybe not go on site to sketch it and only go like for a photo for the thumbnail. I don't know. But that is why this hasn't continued. It is going to carry on in 2025 though. So we're still working on that, baby. And I will link where I made that with you guys on the channel in the description box. Okay, got that one done. What else do we have here? Oh boy, the art challenges. So this, my friends, if you have been watching recently, you might have picked up where I said, I think I found the area that kind of pushed me away from my daily journaling practice. Art challenges definitely did that. So I'm not going to open all of them up. I'm just going to show you because all of these, most all of them, I should say, are in my video playlist. So you can go back and look at them. But this is the nature journal. I will do a flip of this one, however, not in this video, in a separate one, because I know some of you were really looking forward to that. It is finished. This I'm grateful for is a little workshop class that I took, and it is finished. So I'm happy about that. February Lodge 2024 is done. This one is one of my races. I'm very happy with this. I made this book. It's kind of like a flag book, which I really, really like that. What is this one? I think this is another Februage. No, this is the Ugly Art Club challenge. Yeah. So that one is done, and then Junk Journal January is done also. And I did this on my Instagram. I showed you guys this as I did it, and I also did a couple videos of some of these flips. Okay, so those are the art challenges. I do have a couple more, actually. Let me grab those real quick. I'm trying not to have my books fall because I have them stacked all around me. So, okay, these are the larger ones. So we have this one, which is an eco printing hand-stitched book. It's finished. And then we have Junk Journal July. It is done. And all of this stuff I shared on my Instagram stories. And then this big boy is a book that I made. And I decided to use it to document my 100-day project journey. And it is finished. So there are some more. And you can see now with all these art challenges why I got away from journaling, because these were things that I did every single day, and it just kind of, not that it took away the time for the journal, it's just because I was challenging myself to be creative every single day in 2024, I felt kind of like wore out. We did art challenges. And then because I have this one out here for my physical fitness challenges, I will go over those next. I have done also the 40-40 challenge because in 2024 I started intentionally studying the Christian faith and religion. And the 40-40 challenge, the idea was every day you read a bit of scripture and then you walk a mile with Jesus. And so I did the first 40 days in this one. Then I did another 40 days. I signed up for the junior and did it in this journal. And then now I'm currently working on the add-on challenge, which is 100 some days, I think. And that's what's going in this big, beautiful one. And I've really been enjoying that experience. I think that this is helping me to learn scripture. I wouldn't necessarily say memorize, but just become more familiar with names, places, events, things like that. And it's really helped with my personal growth also. It's just been a really great experience. But that is how I am journaling with it, and it's been great. I'm definitely going to be keeping that going. So I don't even have fitness journaling on this one. Wow. We're going to add it, because I'm keeping it. I do have a different idea for 2025, but that's going to be a whole nother video, guys. My 2025 setup is probably going to be just as long, if not longer, just because I've learned so much from everything that I've done in my 2024 journals that I'm like super excited and ambitious for 2025. And I'm like, okay, I have a plan. I know what works. Let's do this. So, but that'll be another video. All right, next I want to talk about some of the journals that I'm not continuing, and I don't even think I'm going to keep them. We might need to do another journal burn, guys. I'm going to grab those. All right, so these ones, I'm going to be able to mark some off here. We have the 5-year, which I'm really disappointed in this one, guys. I am. You know, they say in order to be successful with journaling, maybe you've heard this, you should have a journal that you're drawn to or attracted to, one that you like to work in. Well, I will say that's not necessarily true, because I was so attracted to this book. When I saw it, I fell in love with it. I absolutely love it, but I didn't write in it. I mean, I did, don't get me wrong, but only until May 15th, and then I fell away. And there's a couple different reasons why I think that happened. I've talked about them before, but some of my ideas for like repurposing this book, because it is so pretty and I don't just want to like throw it in a journal burn pile. I think that maybe I'll take the pages and do like a matte medium. I don't know. I have this whole jar that I really need to like start using. You know, this gesso here, that you know, modeling paste. I could do stuff with stencils with. And then just like turn it into an art book. I haven't decided if I want to do that, just because I already have my goals and plans set for 2025, and I don't really know if I'm going to be as focused on art challenges. And plus, I already have that big Delusions journal that I wanted to try an art technique in for next year. So this one, I don't know, guys. It might end up on a journal burn. I hate to do that. We'll see. All right, then we have the Weeks. Again, very attractive to this design. First time working in the Weeks, however, so wasn't really sure what I was going to do. This has changed a bit. You know, I did my gratitude. I tried to do my mood. At one point, I was just writing stuff that was happening. And then I decided towards the end, I was going to test out different layouts and see if maybe a different layout would work for me or get me to write in it more. I enjoyed that process. I'm going to continue doing that in 2025. However, probably not with the Weeks, because I have decided that in 2025, my Weeks is going to be dedicated to a specific tracking system. So this is going to be continued, but I don't know if I'm going to actually keep this one just because it wasn't very successful. And then this lovely bullet journal. This is an Amanda Rach Lee bullet journal. I don't really have a reason for why this didn't work, but I turned it into a transaction notebook. See how I turned that into like a transaction sheet? And the idea was that I have two different accounts. One is for like my business related stuff. So like if I have a monthly payout to Adobe services for like Illustrator and InDesign, and you know, Skillshare, things that like I would learn or that I regularly pay out. And then the other one is kind of like for supplies, so it kind of has a little bit more action going on with it. So if I get stationery, or if I need something for class, or you know, some art supplies, that's what the other account was for. And so I just divided this notebook in half and was trying to keep track of that to kind of like hold myself accountable with consumerism, but also to be like aware of how much I was spending on supplies versus like educational purposeful stuff. And that just, it didn't work out. I found it really nuisance to come in here all the time, like every day, and update it. Not saying that I purchase something every day, but it just, like, I have electronic statements. Do I really need to dedicate a bullet journal to that? I think it's a great idea if you wanted to do like a month, like capture your spending for a month, which I am doing that for November of 2024, and it's enlightening. But I don't think doing it like long term is a very good idea. So moving forward, I don't want to throw this notebook away. There's so much of it left to use. I think I'll either cut out the pages that I have stuff on or glue them together and just like repurpose this into something. What? I have no idea yet. All right, so now we're getting into some of my favorite journals. We discussed that one. So let me grab those ones. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is my first ever Bible journal. And I'm definitely going to be keeping that moving forward. But in 2025, I'm going to be working in a different Bible journal. But I will keep this one just because there's so much stuff in it that I can't part with it. Then we have my, lost my pen. My 365 journal. This is where I was drawing a flower a day. You guys already know my feelings on that. I did not stick with it. I'm going to finish it, of course. But how I'm moving forward with my Sketch and Sunday series is going to be different. But that is going to be discussed in my 2025 journal setup. Okay, then we have my art challenge book. This one will not be getting continued in 2025 because there's just so much information in it. I don't think that continuing to collect information about art things that I recognize or learn about, discover, what have you, is really going to be beneficial, because it's like, when will I ever go back and explore any of those or research them further? So I'm just going to focus on the ones that I documented in 2024. And that is a book that I made also. And then this is my commonplace book. I think I've talked about this before on the channel. It is where I'm doing like all my Skillshare training. It's where I'm doing my kind of like brain dumping, mind mapping. It's also where I'm tracking some stuff that I do throughout the year. I'm not real sure if I'm doing this correctly, but it is helpful. I am going to be working on this a bit today just to kind of get further clarity and insight. But this one is Staying. And then we have the new swatch book that I shared with you guys. This is Staying. I think this is going to be really helpful for my 2025 bullet journals whenever I plan those out. That is the Ferris Wheel Press book. And then these ones are my bullet journals. Of course, I'm keeping those going, but remember, in 2025, I'm moving into an 8x8 square. So staying, but changing. This book is one that I made, handmade book. It is one that I'm using for my surface design ideas, because definitely keeping and moving forward with it. This is a lovely journal that I got as part of the Sakura package that was a limited release from Stickii Club, and it just has plain pages in it, kind of like a cream color, but what I'm using it for is I'm setting up bullet journal spreads. So I made this little template here, and I just put it down and trace it, and then I divide it in half, and then in pencil I go in and I kind of like write what I want to put on that page, or I actually draw out how I want the layout to be. This is incredibly helpful. Definitely going to be moving forward with this, and even though I don't have another one of these books, if I happen to fill this up by the end of 2025, I think I'm just going to get that Midori 365 diary that my Sketch on Sunday series is in and continue in that, because I think, you know, I just need blank pages. I might make a book too. That would be a good use for one of the books that I made. Remember I said I needed to fill all those? So we'll see. This is my lovely first ever A6 Techo. I have the Hobonichi Papers in it, and this is where I am putting my definitions in. So I really love to collect odd definitions, or just words that I like how they sound. So that is also where I get to use my fountain pens, the different colors. And I do have a project for 2025 moving forward with the Hobonichi Papers and the A6. But I'll talk more about that on my 2025 video. And then we have the Techo. Look at this chunky monkey. It's so cute. I am nowhere near done with this baby, but I am loving backfilling, going through my memories, my phone photo reels, Instagram, everything, and just gathering up all the stuff that I want to put in here. This is my favorite journal. It's why I saved it for last, guys. I've talked about it. I've said it was my favorite several times on the channel, and I am so glad that I started and found this book. And as long as they make the Hobonichi Techo, I am going to be using it. I think that this is fabulous. It is a journal that I started because I wanted to improve my inner personal dialogue with daily journaling. That has been a wonderful experience. One of my professors told me once that one of the reasons why he believed a lot of people weren't successful with journaling is because they put down their negative emotions or negative thoughts, or like things that upset them in them. And while I really understand that concept and where he was coming from with that, I disagree, because there's definitely a purpose and need for that type of journaling. It has been incredibly helpful for me to have a book where I can just vent and like pour my heart out on the pages. But this journal, I would say, is a pleasant combination of both negative and positive memories. And to me, that's the best type of journal, because while you could do the reverse of what that professor was talking about and just have a book that's dedicated to nothing but positivity, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, I don't think that that would be as healthy as having a combo journal, just because if you weren't to reach one of those goals or dreams that you put down, or if you kind of got off track or away from one of them, I think that that could be like a form of self-harm, because then it would create negative feelings associated with that. And so I just think that my personal preference is to do the combination of both negative and positive feelings and experiences. And also, because I've grown so much in 2024 personally, and, you know, as a artist and student, this is going to be an incredible resource to look back on and just remember like how far I've come, and also be like an inspiration for how much further I want to go. So that's my take on this. That's why I love it so much. And there's just so many different ways that you can record keep and journal in this, that I'm going to do something in 2025 where I kind of like test out layouts or spreads. So if you're interested in that, I would recommend you stick around, just because I'm going to be sharing those on my YouTube and my Instagram. YouTube, obviously, it'll just be like a quick flip and discussion, whereas Instagram, the photos are going to be there so you can reference them. I did also start a Pinterest account so that you can have a place to go to and look at my bullet journal opening spreads. I don't know what else I'm going to add to that account right now, but this could be something that I add where I have my ideas for layouts. But also with the weeks, because I kind of started that in 2024, I think I might be adding those. I did consider adding my nature journal, but I'm still deciding if that's something that I want to put my spreads up on. All right, so this is my daily. We can mark that off. I had to grab my pen there. Okay. We talked about the 365, which is Sketchin' Sundays. I need to change that for 2025 because that is going to be changing from 365 to 366, which was this year because of leap year, to 52. All right, bullet journals we discussed. Now, this is not the exact journaling spread sheet that I developed at the start of 2024, because so much of this changed throughout the year that I kind of like just got rid of it. It was like, there's no point. I'm not even doing this. So I recreated this specifically for this video. That's why it might look a little different. And then I switched to this. And this is, there's ideas there. Those are things that I want to put in my, okay, we'll talk about those. Those are things that I want to put in my goodbye section, which that's coming up for my bullet journal. So this is like a block grid, and for each one I just kind of put like an abbreviation or the full title of the journal. So we did bullet journaling, and there were 2 of those, so I'm just going to put a 2. Geocaching we talked about. 5-year we talked about. The art passport we talked about also. That's that little book that I made that has all like my art discoveries in it. That is going to be helpful moving forward. I know it. Like if ever I have downtime, I could just turn to that and be like, yep. Okay, Sketchin' Sundays we talked about. Commonplace is a new one. We did discuss that. Transaction ledger, yes, but I'm not going to keep that. The Techo, I am keeping. My idea book, ooh, we didn't discuss that one, but I have shown it on the channel. That is staying. Bible journaling we talked about. Content TN we discussed. Travel TN we discussed. One Piece, ooh, we didn't talk about that one either. That is that one I did a stationery haul on. I'm going to, over Christmas break, rewatch the Netflix series and get started on that. So that's one if you're interested in. You can look forward to. Ooh, junk journaling we talked a little bit about, but I do have something in the works for 2025. The NASA book we did not talk about, but that is staying. I have shown that on the channel. I will link that video. Definition book we talked about, that's the A6. Wild writing we did not talk about, but I have shared that on the channel, so I will link that also if you're interested. The security envelope bullet journal, I have not shown that. Let me grab that. All right, so I had talked about in one of my videos, and I'm not sure which one it is. If I can find it, I will link it. But I took a workshop kind of back when I was doing all those art challenges to boost my creativity, where we learned how to use security envelopes to create art with. And so I decided to take a bullet journal, and then as I would get junk mail or security envelopes from pen pals, I would take the different patterns and make this little swatch block and put them in a bullet journal, and then I would keep the remainder of the envelope in kind of like a folder or a page protector sleeve for future use. And so that is what this is, and I'm definitely going to be continuing this, because eventually what I'm going to do is in the back behind these pages, I plan to, I'll probably cut the journal in half, honestly, find the midway point, and then from that point on, I'm going to create art from those envelopes. I do have some artwork. I did some ATCs with it. I have shared some with pen pals, but I want to create some for myself. So this journal is staying, and I'm going to continue it. All right. The nature journal is done. I might do another one of those in the future. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. I love that. It's a great keepsake. Letterboxing, I have not found one yet, so we're not even going to discuss that, but I'm keeping it. Flower gardening journal, I talked about way back in the beginning of my channel. Keeping that. It's just where I track all of like my flower beds that I have, my plant use and care tags, things like that. I kind of like sketch out excuse me, landscaping, like how I want the flower beds and then where I want each flower to go. That's staying. ATC we talked about. Keeping that. 40/40 journals, there were 3 of those, so 25, 26, 27. We're continuing with that because I'm still in the add-on. Plus, they released the 2025 40/40 challenge, which I am so excited for. They have a finisher medal, a t-shirt, they have a sticker sheet, they have different books of the Bible they're studying. So excited about that. And then that is something that I'm going to talk about in 2025 video for how I'm going to keep track of the Bible books that I'm reading. So excited about that. Cannot wait to share it. Morning pages I never started, but we're going to count it because I did create a book for it. I just haven't done it. So that's going to continue. The quote book, I did not start that, but it's moving into 2025. I have it. It's going to be in the 2025 setup video. Dream journal, I had 2 of those, so that takes us to 31. They got burned. The Ugly Art Challenge, we talked about. Did that. Junk Journal January, we talked about. February, we talked about. 100-Day Project, I showed. I did also separate my videos when I was on sabbatical and I had my channel down. All my videos were private. I tried to organize them as best as I could so that moving forward, it would be easier for you guys to find my content. So 100-Day Project actually has a playlist now. I'm still sorting through the rest of my Let's Be Creative video list because I think there's more in there that can be like individual playlists, but give me time, guys. I'll get to it. April photo a day. Did I have a book for that? I believe I did. It just didn't show it. I know I have a book, actually. I made it. I just didn't show it today. And then the brain dump we talked about. Okay, so that gives us a grand total for 2024, 37 journals were worked in, started, and some completed. Wow. If, guys, this is your challenge for the day, okay? If you've been a long time viewer on this channel and you watched a video where I created something that I didn't cover in either of these lists today, call me out on it, please. Put it in the comments below and I will go back through my content. I will look through all of my books and find it, and I'll do a special video on that. All right, so let's talk a little tiny bit about 2025. I don't want to give too much away because that is going to be its own video, but two of the things that you can look forward to are I am going to be talking about where I'm going forward with art competitions. So these are the ones that I submitted and got accepted into for 2024. I also am going to list some of the other ones that I didn't finish, but they were like ones that I was interested in, and I paid the submission fee. So that's one. And then I have a new way to track my virtual racing and fitness. So that's really excited. But for 2024 in my goodbye section, I'm just going to be putting the ones that I completed, who they were by, and how many miles it was, because I think it would be so cool at the end of the year. Tell me if you're a fitness guru, if you had like a total number of workouts or miles walked or races completed. I think that would be so cool. So those are things that are going to be included in my goodbye section of 2024. That's going to be a separate video also, and it is coming. But now let's take a look at all of the books that I handmade since I started, like 11 so months worth of handmade books. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please enjoy that outtake. Bye, guys.